Hello, Sunbeams. Welcome to Sunshine Realms. My name is Sunshine, and I am here to do the reading for the full moon in Gemini. I went ahead and pulled a full moon in Gemini Moonology card. The answers you need are coming. The energy of speaking your truth. Let's see what the cards have for us in terms of using our words with discretion and discernment. The full moon in Gemini is about integration of the mind and the heart, your integrated thoughts, your integrated thought processes, planting seeds, since it's the full moon in Gemini, the last full moon of the year. So you want to take a moment to look at what you are seeding for 2025. 2025 is a 9 year. You are looking at what you want to integrate for the new year. What do you want to gather? What do you want to pollinate? What you want to prepare? What you want to seed? What is it that you want to ground into in preparation for the energy to come in? All right, let's see what we have. I'm starting off with tarot. And this is Tarot of the Magical Forest. We have the Four Cups, the Lovers, which is a Gemini card, and the World with the Two of Wands on the bottom. In terms of obtaining answers, the Four of Cups could indicate that you haven't received some sort of closure within the heart space, closure within the emotions, or you haven't made a decision in terms of obtaining closure within the heart space, or thought, or an idea that might not have worked. But the answers are coming. With the Four of Cups energy, it could mean that maybe you haven't gotten to a space where you can hear the answers from Spirit. Or perhaps you just haven't been in a space of listening to your mind, listening to your heart, or integrating what you need in order to create change in your life. Full moons are about taking stock and coming to a space where you can see things clearly, which also requires you to have a place of reflection in your life. This integration that's happening within yourself, the dark and the light, the positive, the negative, the things that we are healing through, the black and the white, it's upside down, or it's turned around, or it's not integrated just yet. Perhaps you're gathering knowledge or researching, and you just haven't been able to put your finger on the answer yet, or you haven't been able to put your finger on creating something yet. And it appears as if it's a blockage because there's a decision that you need to make that hasn't been made, or this could be avoiding. You could be avoiding making a decision on something, or avoiding making a decision on where to go with something. Let's see what this decision is about with the Two of Wands. Thank you, Spirit. I'm only taking one. Seven of Swords. This is when you haven't been able to be honest with yourself. You haven't been able to see the truth in some type of way. Either you're not willing to acknowledge it, or you just haven't gotten into a space where you can actually say, this is where I am in my life, or this is where I am with my emotions, or this is where I am with this period on your journey. There could be some denial, there could be some avoidance, there could be some blockages that's being created by you not being able to see a pathway or a road ahead. This feels like a crossroads. It feels like although you are seeking the answers you need are coming. They're not here. So it's important for you to tap into the Gemini full moon in order to observe your emotions, in order to come to a space of healing where you are actually with your emotions, sitting with what's on your mind, sitting with what's on your heart. And instead of like running around it, you actually acknowledge it, and you also integrate it into your body, meaning you accept it. Sometimes surrendering is about letting go of whatever it is that's holding you back from receiving this clarity. You have to surrender it to Spirit in order for Spirit to send you the answers that you need. They're not just going to fall in your lap like this big cup that's being offered to you. It has to be a space within your soul, within your emotions, within your vessel that's created for Spirit to send it to you. Sometimes the hardest part of being in this space of denial or avoidance is the fact that there are things that we want to do that we can't do because there's no space. It's like clearing off the data from your laptop or phone or computer. In order for your mainframe to be upgraded, you must make some space for it to be restored, to be upgraded, and to be somehow acceptable and accessible to the energy that's coming in. And sometimes when we speak our truth to ourselves, especially with the sign of Gemini, is very communicative. It's answers that are there that we might not be willing to see because we might not want to hear it or see it or know it at that time. But Spirit is asking us to allow the space for it to come in. So let's find out with the Enchanted Map Oracle if we can get any insight on why we are in this energy. Have we gathered enough knowledge or insight? Have we researched enough to get to a space where we can receive the answers? Spark, that's a 7 card. It has to do with the heart space. Maybe we're not going towards our passions, or we're not putting enough energy into what our heart is calling us to do. Maybe we're not moving and transforming and creating in the way that we're being called to move and create and give. Maybe we are not receiving the answers because we're not in a space of manifestation or creativity. We're not in a space where we can go after our passions. It's as if Spirit is giving us an answer of some kind, a spark of some kind, the energetic alignment of some kind, to step into a version of ourselves where we can accept where we are, and get into a space of love and union with spirit, because we're not there yet. With the Lovers reversed, it's like a calling that we have not answered yet, but the answers are within reach. It's just not within our vessel just yet. And it takes a while sometimes when you're in the Seven of Swords and the Two of Wands. It takes a while to get out of the mindset or the mind space where you have yet to realize what's in front of you. It seems as if it's in front of us and we are just not seeing it just yet. Let's find out what the Seven of Swords may be. The Hermit. Solitude. Interesting. Learning, knowledge. That's the integration that we have yet to complete. We might still be in a learning phase. It appears as if we're missing something. What are we missing, Spirit? Let's find out what that Hermit is, because sometimes we miss it because we're not willing to admit it. I get a lot of resistance here. Fatherly power and constancy has to do with our emotions, being the authority and the leader of our emotions. I get the distinct feeling that this could be a version of ourselves where we are just refusing to give into our emotions. We're refusing to let it out. We're refusing to purge the trauma or purge the hurt or purge the pain, or in some way let go of something that is not serving us. With the Seven of Swords, with the Lovers reversed, and the Four of Cups and the World, the resistance is coming from our emotional space, our emotional aspects of ourselves that we just simply refuse to acknowledge they exist. So this energy reminds me that with Gemini and being in a full moon energy, it's like, where are you actually allowing your words to meet your emotions? There's a denial of an emotional space here, and that denial is what's holding back the energy. It's restricting movement within the vessel because we are holding on to something, or refusing to let go of something, or refusing to purge, refusing to filter and heal, allowing something to move out of us, move through us, and move on the timeline so that we can get to a space of healing, so that we can get to an ending of a chapter, an ending of a learning cycle, an ending of moving through choppy waters. It's like we're holding on to something that is not serving us. So it's important to come to a space within yourself where you can look at that. Let's get one of the star codes, Astro Oracle, to help clarify the energy. Ooh, Venus. Wow. This is the integration of the feminine and the masculine aspects of ourselves. Everyone has Mars and Venus within them. Everyone has fatherly and motherly energy within them. Everyone has this Venusian and Martian energy in them. It's how we use it, how we integrate it, how we mesh things together, how we lock them together. How are we making room for the yin and the yang? How are we making room to transmute the darkness and turn it into light? How are we transmuting our pain into progress? Because we're not striving for perfection. Venusian energy lets me know that we're striving for peace. We're striving for love. We're striving for nurturance. We're striving for grounding. We're striving for being rooted. We're striving for seeds to be planted within us so that we can pollinate, so that we can grow, so that we can seed the earth with the most highest aspect of ourselves. And that integration is required for us to move forward on our timelines. It's required each and every day. We must take a look at ourselves. Even if we're in denial, still take a look at yourself and say, this is where I am and this is where I'd like to go. And if you do that every single day, you're making some stride towards an effort to heal, to get that spark back within you, and to move on a timeline that's not so fixated, stuck, and stagnant. You want to use the energy, transmute the energy, and integrate it into where you're going. And that requires you to take a look at the feminine and the masculine aspects of yourself, because it's within us all. We must be our own mothers, our own fathers, in order for us to take steps ahead on the journey. 1, 2, 1, 2. Left, right, left, right. It's an integrating of those steps that's going to get us there. And we won't be able to do it alone. We must integrate what Spirit is asking us to bring into our lives in order for us to do that. Let's get one more tarot to find out what we can do in order to turn this fixation, this stagnancy. We're waiting on something to either end, come in, or be enlightened in order for us to take those 1, 2 steps. This is the integration of the mind. This is the integration of receiving the thoughts, the ideas, or the spark. This is the integration of ourselves, the integration of our discernment, the integration of the discretion that we have when we use our words, when we speak our truth, when we embrace the aspects of ourselves that we're still working on. When we integrate our words in a manner that is respecting both sides of ourselves. It's soft but firm. It's clear but fair. It's honest, but it's also a portion of ourselves that pulls the emotion, speaking from a place of emotional sovereignty, speaking from a place of emotional stability, because we've done the work to integrate the aspects of ourselves that we have yet to master. It's a journey. It's not finite. Master this, go here. It's working on a timeline towards knowledge, growth, and pollinating more about yourselves in the moment. The growth mindset is something that happens every single day. You don't wake up, end a cycle, step into a new one without the knowledge being carried with it. So as we're gathering seeds, information, research, as we're gathering whatever our heart is asking us or calling us to gather in order for us to move forward into the new year, the full moon is really asking us to integrate our heart space with our mind space from a place of inner power, inner knowing, and inner knowledge. And also, I get the feeling that with this spark card, we need to do it in a gentle way. You know, this energy here, we need to do it in a gentle way. It doesn't have to be harsh, doesn't have to be stern. We can write things down, integrate things, work on things bit by bit, step by step, moment by moment, day by day, and just giving ourselves some substance in order for us to sustain the journey that we've already set for ourselves. This is the sustainable, emotional, and balanced place that we should be in order for us to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers right now. We might be avoiding them or we might be ignoring them, but be soft with yourself. Be forgiving with yourself. And also be the mother to yourself. Be the father to yourself. As adults, we forget that that's really how we move forward in life, is by giving ourselves what we need in order for us to give to others around us. And so we'll get to a point where we receive the answers because they're already coming. They're already in our timeline, on our timeline, integrated within us, and that's where we're going. This is really good because what's grounding us is what we already know that we might have lost at some point. But because we're regathering, relearning, unlearning, and letting go and purging things that don't serve us, we can get to a point where we move forward from a place of growth and expansion. Let's get one last card for how we're going to welcome in the new year after we've moved through this full moon in Gemini. And if you've enjoyed this content, please take a moment to subscribe. You can always comment down below or hit the like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Solar flares activate. I love this. This means that we're already doing it. It's already within us. This is the affirmation and the mantra of I am. And it is also a very healing space with it being a 17 card. This is a healing alignment, and it's also an opportunity for us to treat ourselves well because the journey is not easy. We might not have all the answers, but Spirit supports us in delivering those answers. And because we're supported, they will come to us because they're always within if we take a moment to purge what is not needed or no longer needed within us and go towards a space of being comforted by what we're learning, how we're growing, what we're preparing, what we're pollinating, what we're manifesting, and put our efforts and focus on that. And then once we integrate the newness, we make space for the activation to happen organically. And this lets me know that it's already happening. This is a very soft, joyful healing. And it's healing from a space that feels good. Ask for that to be allowed into your life. Ask for it to be allowed. And you'll be able to move forward in a way that will get you out of the stuck energy. It's almost as if you have to call on your higher self in order to move through the rest of this year as we move into 2025. So I just heard, I am in awe of the power of the Almighty. This is the energy that's going to take us forward. Being in awe of the power of the Almighty, because that energy, that spark, that beloved reality is already here. Purge, release, let go, and welcome it in. I thank you for being here, sharing space with me, and I hope that this information will help you on your timeline, and I wish you well. Have a great day.